Good evening. I'm District Secretary Nicole Gonzalez. Bear with me, I'm losing my voice, so hopefully you can hear me. It is Tuesday, October 20th, 2015, and this is a regular meeting of the Dublin-San Ramon Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Ed Forte.
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Director Michelak. Here. Director Von Peter-Leopold.
Here.
Director Elgin.
Here.
Vice President Howard.
Here.
And President Wilson.
Here. Special announcement.
Yes, President Duarte, I have the privilege and honor to present some awards to a couple of people that you know pretty well. And I have to also say, you know, I've been telling you for a year and a half that the recycled water fill station was Dan Gallagher's idea. I learned I was wrong. It wasn't Dan's idea at all. You know, he was being a good husband and following what his wife told him to do. It was actually Rosalie's idea. So actually last night, Dan and Rosalie were presented, were honored by the Pleasanton Weekly and the Danville San Ramon, they used to call that the San Ramon Express, honored by those two news organizations as part of their 2015 Tri-Valley Heroes presentation. And they were honored for their idea of coming up with this residential recycled water fill station that's been so successful in helping our community get through the drought both last year in 2014 and 2015. So, you know, altogether, this is pretty impressive. I don't think I've ever seen this before. And I won't read each one of these, and I do not speak for any of these folks, but I think it's pretty important that you hear who they are. There's a commendation for Dan and Rosalie Gallagher from the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, signed by all 5 supervisors: Scott Haggerty, Wilma Chan, Richard Vallier, Keith Carson, and Nate Miley. There is another commendation to Dan and Rosalie from Scott Haggerty, President of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, 1st District, so Scott went out of his way to give him a special one. Then there is a certificate of recognition from Candace Anderson, Supervisor District 2 of Contra Costa County. Ms. Anderson represents basically the San Ramon Valley coming down here. Of course, San Ramon is in our service area, so they benefit from the program. Then there is a certificate of recognition from Assemblywoman Catherine Baker from the Assembly. And finally, not to be outdone, is our newest Senator, Steve Blazer, as a certificate of appreciation or certificate of recognition from the California State Senate. That's all really cool stuff, and a little bit on your walls. You'll get great. But then to put on your nightstand, really the Tri-Valley Heroes Award, Dan and Rosalie Gallagher for innovation in 2015. Thing like this. Come on up, Rosalie. I don't know how we're going to do this.
Yeah, come on up. I don't want to be alone.
Hold something. Oh, yeah.
Over here. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Make sure it's just the two of you. Yep.
Oh, yeah. We'll get back up. Yeah, we got a lot. Yes. Okay. We'll go on package it back up for you. So you can grab all of those. Okay, well, thank you. That's the end of the special events.
Public comment at this time. At this time, those in the audience are encouraged to address the board on any item of interest that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, not already included on tonight's agenda. I didn't see any speaker cards. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? Before Rosalie goes completely away, I just want we congratulated Dan over and over and over again, but we were misled. As Brooke said, we should have known better.
I know, right?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, first of all, I guess I'll read this right now. Sorry. At an Administrative Affairs Committee meeting of the Dublin San Ramon Services District Board of Directors was held at 4:30 p.m. October 20th, 2015. The Board of Directors of Dublin San Ramon Services District President Duarte and Vice President Howard attended this Administrative Affairs Committee meeting. We also had an Executive Committee meeting of the Dublin San Ramon Services Board of Directors held at 5:15 p.m. today. The Board of Directors of Dublin San Ramon Services District President Duarte, myself, and Vice President Howard attended this Executive Committee meeting. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54952.3, no director will receive any additional compensation or stipend for participating in more than one meeting on this date, as specified in the district policy P100-14-2, day of service. Just so that's perfectly clear for the rest of us. All right. Correspondence.
Yes, President Duarte and members of the board, I have a number of things for the event calendar, and boy, there seems to be a lot of correspondence, so if you could bear with me while I work my way through this. First of all, under the event calendar, as you know, tomorrow evening, Zone 7 has a board meeting at which they'll be considering their water rates for 2014. President Duarte sent a letter to Dr. Sarah Palmer, who's president of Zone 7 board, last week, I guess, maybe 10 days ago now. And as Mr. Archer and I reviewed the Zone 7 rate proposal, I think they did a very credible job. I'm sure I see you in the audience. Thank you very much for responding very favorably to the thoughts President Duarte had in the rate proposal. Accordingly, when we saw the document, we thought it fitting that we write another letter back to Zone 7, sort of thanking them for it. There's a couple little tweaks in there, but they were all, I think, positive. I think you're definitely heading in the right direction. We would have agendized it for the board agenda tonight, and I thought it was important to get it in their hands today, so we have as much time to get it to the board members as possible. So John took the labor and signed that letter. That's got it. I have a copy. And I should have a copy. The other event calendar item is AQUA, Association of California Water Agencies, is holding, I guess they call it the fall conference. It is December 1st to 4th, which is the Tuesday through Friday, immediately after Thanksgiving this year, I believe, if the calendars, my mental calendar is correct. It will be held in Indian Wells, California. If any of you are interested in attending, please let Nicole and Valley know, and she can make travel arrangements and reservations for you. I would note that at that Aqua conference, the district is being considered for an award by Aqua as the Blue Hauser Best in Blue Award. We're one of the finalists, and it's related to our public outreach program during the tropical community achieved wonderful water reductions that we saw. And thank you, Sue, and your team for doing that. The importance of that is when you're considered for that award, you have VIP tickets to set up at in front of the room with the Aqua Power. So if anybody is really interested in going, you have great seats for you over there. And actually, I would encourage you. I think it's important when you receive the award past the president. So I would encourage one or more of you to, if you at all can. Pardon? There's no paper for that. That was just good. And then under correspondence to and from the board, this sort of gets a little bit long, so bear with me. First of all, you should have a letter dated October 1st, 2015 from Chris Foss, President of Arte, Chris Foss is the city manager of the city of Lebanon, related to the draft water supply, storage, and conveyance policy. That's your item 9G on the agenda. Actually, it's included in your agenda packet as well. It's probably why you don't have it in front of your board. It's actually included in the agenda packet. I would also note that there's a letter from Pleasanton City Manager Nelson Fialo, dated October 16th, President Duarte, again related to that same policy that we're considering under item 9G. That is included in your agenda packet, and I would note that Leonard Oliver from the City of Pleasanton is in the audience as well. If you have any follow-up questions related to that. Also related to that same policy, item 9G, email came to me with Mr. James Paxton. James is with the Hospital Owners Association. Transmitted to me a letter that he transmitted to Zone 7 dated October 16th. You have that in front of you. He commented on Zone 7's connection to the program. We haven't had an issue with that matter. He also commented on Zone 7's water-related increase. So I wanted you to have a copy of that. Nothing on the agenda, certainly board policy. Mr. Paxton also separately sent in an email to me. Again, the board wasn't copied, but it's related to item 9G. You have a copy in front of you about the water supply and storage and conveyance policy. So you have a total of 3 items on item 9G, 3 pieces of correspondence with that. Next to last, here's a copy of a blog written by Roz Rogoff entitled Bidding DSRSD Goodbye, updated October 9th, 2015, basically reflecting on her experience that she went through with Ms. Mishloff and Mr. Patrick, I believe, 2 weeks ago. So she has some nice things to say about the district. And lastly, there's an email from a Ms. Peggy Siebenauer, dated October 14th, the DSRSD board subject to let the demo an innovative water-saving product. This came into the DSRSD board email box. Evidently, there's a device that her and I assume it's her husband are trying to market. They would like to demonstrate that to the board. And I guess my question to you, number one, I won't put it in correspondence to the record, but wondering if you would like to have that demonstration scheduled.
I think the pictures probably get there now. I get the pictures. I don't need a lab now. The pictures will.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, sure. And then under agenda management, one of our staff members, Michelle Gallardo, has to be a non-array. So with I would recommend, and we have a big audience, so I make this recommendation carefully. She has to be a non-array tonight, and she's key to items 9, I, and 11A. 11A being a closed session on the agenda. I would recommend that you take those 2 out of order after the consent calendar, so as to allow her to little bit of time to do it, tomorrow, late, do it.
11A and 9I.
And I would suggest you do it in that order. And that's all I have.
Item 7, approval of minutes of the regular meeting of October 6th.
Approval.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes for our meeting of October 6th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. On the consent calendar, item 8A.
Approval.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar, item 8A, accept the following regular and recurring reports. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. At this time, we will go into closed session for item 11A. And upon completion of that, we will come back and report as necessary.
The attendees will be as indicated on the agenda.
And for everyone else in the audience, just so we don't have any photons, the recording will continue.
So you're being recorded.
Yeah, so you're being recorded, so let's be kind, don't say anything disparaging about your work.
We are watching.
Sometimes the board's going to purchase that. I give us authorization to purchase the courier. So that's
How's football going?
Good.
Yeah.
Freshman football now.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, won the first game. So, yeah, it's kind of fun. You know, it's freshmen, it's got a little of everybody out
Who you
there.
playing this week?
What's the pipeline doing?
How do you do this?
They beat them, freshmen beat
They
them.
don't,
Yeah, they wiped out the rest of our teams.
Yeah.
But the freshmen, I told my son, I was like, remember this. You can go, you can say it. You say it, they will sell. It's the only time you may be able to say that. Exactly. You guys hold on to that. But he's having fun. It goes fast though. They've only on, I think, 3 more games.
I'm way out at Liberty on Friday.
Oh, are you out?
And out some other-
Brentwood area, yeah.
I had a good game last week. It was Foothill and Mount Vista.
Okay.
I was 3-point game, Foothill won. It was contested right down to the last.
Oh, good.
minute of play. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some good games. So I think, we'll see how they do. Yeah, the big game they have left is Monte Vista, I guess, you know, 2 weeks out. You know, the freshman ones, there's no playoffs.
Right.
As long as you beat the key teams.
There's something back in the day, way back when, they had a e-ball.
E-Ball, yeah.
They had a freshman tournament. So
Oh,
the
did
first
they?
week of the high school season, regular playoffs.
Right.
They had, it wasn't a tournament, it was like a jamboree. It was
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
Saturday. And they had all 8 e-ball teams out
Right.
there. And each one played, they had kind of this round robin that went on for about 4 hours, kind of like
Yeah.
a jamboree. And at the end of it, one team emerged.
Okay. Yeah, they did have kind of a jamboree at the beginning of the season. There was no competition. They didn't really keep score with the kids.
Yeah. I always thought that would be something pretty, it gives the
Yeah.
freshmen so way long.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is good. They keep moving them around. So it's like every week they have a different position, which in a way is good
Yeah.
at this level. It's fun to get out there. And plus, it's not weekends like T-Birds was.
Yeah,
So we actually have our weekends free.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not all the days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good chunk of your day. So, oh, it's been fun.
Plus you don't have to coach, you have your weeks.
Yeah, I got evenings free, and then it's Thursday night games, which is always fun. It's actually fun to go to.
Hey Bob, how you doing? How you doing, Bob? I haven't seen you at a board meeting for a while.
He's listening.
I hope you still watch this.
Classification code for, and
I'm sure he gets, yeah.
none of us
Content,
actually
he's
saw
watching,
the
he's
ground
going
yet.
to-
Curious to see when he
They
gets
are out
executed.
there.
what was it?
Yeah, I do. It's more but I still, I winter, I still like that. Now, I'm gonna have a short, fuse at the end of it, I gotta get back up and get my hot $8:30. Oh, we're starting at 7. Okay.
Well, maybe you would have come here tonight, so you're ready to be.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Bert, what was it that I was No, I wasn't, but no, I remember that was there. Yeah, I can just, probably have a portion. Well, really nothing sort of bad happened. I mean, there was, well, here's what happened. So Deer Valley and Pittsburgh was at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a huge refuge. You have a band of rivals, Ohio State. In fact, you know how Ohio State does the script Ohio and the dot the I, and Pitt does the script Pitt, dots the I. You know, so I mean, that's how good they are. So I'm just giving you a flavor of how good they are. The marching band came, Deer Valley is warming up.
Okay, I just have to stop this and wait, and I want to say, the players tried to take the field, but the
players-
marching band refused to
No,
yield.
no, the marching band tried to take the field, and the players
Refused to yield, okay. I just, the
So the
moment you said that,
players
I
are
was going to
warming,
hit me.
the players are warming up, and the marching band comes out there. Nobody knew the marching band. I mean, if they would have coordinated with Deer Valley, and Deer Valley could have maybe started their warm-ups a little early, nobody knew that that was gonna happen. Here comes the marching band, Deer Valley gets all PO'd, they stand out there right in the middle of the band, they're running their plays right in the middle of the band. You know? Nobody bumped into anybody or anything like that. You
Okay.
know? So then Deer Valley was getting even angrier, because they can't run the plays that they want to. The Pittsburgh people are kind of going crazy, because of course, half of people go to see the band play, not the Pittsburgh team, you know?
All the band parents at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
Not the football parents.
Yeah, so eventually there was one flag thrown for unsportsmanlike on Deer Valley for just not moving on the way to Pitt Band. I don't know why that was here. I couldn't.
Before the game even started.
Before the game even started. We assume authority 30 minutes before the game. So,
Okay.
and so that happened. So it was a big thing. But so we were talking. We had a meeting Sunday night, our association meeting. So, you know, we kind of kick it around, you know, what you should have done. And there's a couple things that could have been done. One is, when you have the coin, there's a rule, after coin toss, both teams have to clear the field of play. You have to get into the end zone at the coin toss. So one of the things we should have done, that we should have done, is, okay, we're going to have the coin toss right now, guys. You know, the band,
And the band will go that way, and the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you playing against the band or against the?
The other thing, I mean, that was kind of a sort of a technical thing. The thing I would have done if I was out there, I would have said, fine, Dan, you get to continue to play. It's a safety thing. I want to let Deer Valley warm up. I'm not going to not let Deer Valley warm up. I'll tell you what, we're not starting this game at 7
delay the
o'clock.
game.
We're going to start this game at 7 o'clock. Yeah. You know,
Right, just delay it, yeah.
Right.
Pitt, or Deer Valley, need to warm up, and,
Right.
you know, Pitt, if you don't like it, that's not my problem.
Right, yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Right.
All right, let me settle down with that.
So anyways, there was a big meeting with the head coaches and
Yeah.
superintendents and everybody.
Drama, ice cream.
No, I knew all the guys and talked about it on Sunday.
It's kind of like a mirror effect, right?
The report from the closed sessions, and at this time, we're going to move under the board business, item 9I, taking that above, before item 9A. So that would be,
President Duarte, board members, I'll start off with it. What you have in front of you is an update to the general manager's job description, which was last updated February of 1990. The job description will be used as part of the process to recruit the new district GM. Michelle went out and surveyed 19 agencies that had senior CEO, GM job descriptions. The jobs in that data was used to update the minimum requirements. All the proposed changes are included in the packet that you have in front of you, and you can see a red line version with the changes specifically marked. Some of the significant changes to point out was a minimum management experience of 10 years or 5 years at a higher level, a preference for master's or professional degree, and civil engineer certificate is highly desired. Staff is seeking direction. Michelle is here to answer any detailed questions we might have. We're seeking their direction as to whether to make the final direction, or we can come back on the third and final.
Discussion.
I looked at it and I liked it. In some way.
What did you just say about the PE license? We're going
That is in there as highly desirable.
to not require. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Thank you. I'm not sure I agree with it either.
No, I'm not sure about that either.
We'll wait till you guys.
Given, I think that's kind of a historical artifact. Running the district of our time, and I love my engineer friends. It's not like engineers, but a lot of different skills come to the table. I can see a finance professional doing it. I can see a legal professional doing it. I can see somebody who's just been an administrator and run efficient organizations doing it. As long as they're surrounded by good, competent engineers, I don't see this person having to be equal. And highly desirable to me sends a signal that we have a bias. So I'd strike it entirely. I'm not going to strike it that it intends to have it be somebody who's demonstrated advanced proficiency in the profession, then I would add CPA, JD, or any type of certification that does that. So strike it or broaden it is what I would suggest.
Well, yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm agreeable.
Maddie?
Yeah, I'm agreeable to that, just striking that most of the districts don't have one. Water agencies don't have that requirement. That's just maybe a little something.
Most of them may not have in the job description, but a lot of them are filled, that position is filled by it.
So if we say, well, then if we say not highly desirable, but, I mean, I don't know if that.
Preferred.
Preferred.
Preferred might be better.
And all the,
You might prefer to be good.
Only to make it, if we're going to have a professional certification in there, it needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be broader. It needs to encompass any. What's our intent? Are we trying to find a good engineer or a good general manager? And if we're trying to find a good general manager, are we thinking that if they've demonstrated exceptional ability in their profession and they've gotten, to the highest, like a PE for an engineer, a JD for a lawyer, or a CPA for a finance professional, or whatever the equivalent is for an administrative professional? If that's our intent, then I'm fine with the broad description. If our intent is not that, then strike it easier.
Okay, I'll make my comment. Given what this agency is charged with doing, I've always felt like a public works director or a water district manager should be a PE. Maybe that's because my background is the same. And I'll digress for a second here and talk about the old myth that engineers are not good managers. That stereotype has been around for years. And my experience, and I'm an old man, I've seen a lot of different agency directors and general managers. That myth has been, as far as I'm concerned, almost completely dispelled. The level of expertise, experience that you find in the majority of today's agencies, that they are run by engineers, they're every bit as capable as an attorney or a CPA. That being said, the service we provide and the engineering services that are involved, to me, have always, I think they need the background of an engineer to do that. I don't object to broadening it and saying any professional license, but I'll tell you, my personal preference would be that we do find a PE. professional engineer to be our general manager. But again, that's my personal opinion.
I have to say, as I'm sitting here, I'm reminded of what the district looked like in the 80s and the lack of an engineer at the head. A lot of things happened then with the cities taking over, but DSRSD was almost bankrupt at that time because of mismanagement. And it obviously was the person, but I don't know, I tend to agree with you, Ed. It's important to have an engineer. Right now, Dan's our engineer, signs things, or do you still?
Technically, the code calls on general manager of the district, and you know that I've chosen to delegate that to the first day wrinkle he was here.
So I don't really want to see that preference stricken. I think we need to have, and I think we can find a professional engineer that would fill the bill.
Well,
But we're still
based on those
discussing.
comments, I'm still in favor of at least saying preferred. If not highly,
Well, that sounds like three for the, one director and other.
I think preferred or recommended would at least get them in the pool. You know what?
Just strike it, because,
It's not a requirement, Michelle.
yeah, it's really, yeah, you're right. It's not an absolute requirement. It's desirable by some of us.
By some people.
By some people, but it's not.
Well, then why don't we put?
Strike it, just strike it.
I think it's cleaner. I mean, if we start, if we, I can count those as if we go to a vote, it'll probably be 3-2, one way or the other. If you try to broaden it, we're going to get some squishy language in there.
I don't want to broaden.
So instead of broadening it, and I just threw that out as a big thing, because, I think it's cleaner as a strike. I don't think it's a requirement job. It's certainly not a statutory requirement, there's no legal reason to have it that way. Certain things have to be done by certain people in our state. This is not one of them. And we're probably still going to end up with a darn engineer, but who knows?
That's what it's for. Yeah, yes, strike it.
I don't either.
either way.
So I guess we'll have to take a vote. What, I need a motion for that?
Yeah, but you have to describe what it is you want to motion, whoever wants to make it.
Procedurally, we're not asking you to approve the job description, we're asking, I think Michelle's asking for some direction as to how you would like this presented to you for approval. In the next meeting. We didn't know where this was going to go, so we kind of this without making this call.
Well, I think Michelle can count.
Well, but remember, two of you will not be here next week. You'll have the non-engineer sitting in his chair.
He's moving down and you're not.
I know he is.
You're saying I have to attend the board meeting from Italy?
Well, just take us with you.
Yeah. We'll post a notice on the door.
Right. I mean, in that case, just grant me.
Well, if you strike it, you still have input on final candidate
Yeah.
anyway.
Right.
Okay. Well, first, they're okay.
I don't get real great, but I feel pretty strongly about this one. And I don't,
Well, I don't expect to change your mind.
and I don't feel that very often. I feel pretty
I just feel very strongly that a good engineer makes a good manager.
Because he knows where the stuff is.
And the technical aspect of running this district, I think requires a professional engineer. So if we strike it, we're still going to have input on it.
Oh, and there's some, actually, We're not gonna get a gazillion engineers apply for it.
So to solve the issue, the direction would be that we'll strike it. That's the only change,
Yeah, it helps a lot.
right?
Okay.
Good done, thank you.
Drive safe.
Phil, drive careful. Okay, now we'll get down to our regular routine. Board business 9B.
Actually, I think 9A.
I'm sorry, 9A.
9A is a standing item. President Barton, members of the board, related to our drought management program. It's an opportunity for the board and members of the public to comment on how the program is operating in this drought. I would note that we had a discussion at the last board meeting and directed us to make about 5 or 6 changes to the drought management program, which are keyed up as items 9C, D, E, F, 9C, D, E, and F on today's agenda. If there's anything to it, we certainly like to hear about it. From staff's perspective, we think that the program is working pretty well. Very good. And now 9D, if I could. 9D, we do require action on. This is the mandated report that the board has asked to be presented to them on a monthly basis throughout the drought. The purpose of that report is to establish the factual basis for you to make a finding that there still exists a need for continuing the state of community drought emergency, which you've declared through February 29th, 2016. Presented information regarding the state of the water supply, the water demand in the district service area, the operational issues, policy level discussions, and other relevant information. Nothing substantive has changed to the degree where I would recommend either seriously tighten down on the drought restrictions that are emergency or loosen them up. And it seems to be working as intended. I would note that the state of California, starting October 1st, moved into what they call a new water year. The water year is from the period October 1st to September 30th. The last water year was one of the driest on record in terms of snowpack. We had a below average rainfall, but it was really snowpack. It was a snow drought last year. Of course, we'll see with our new projections how it's going to continue to develop this year. And at some point in the spring, the governor will make a decision on what he feels is appropriate for the state of California, and that actually will trickle down to this district, and you'll have to consider what kind of drought management program you want to have for 2016 going forward. Again, it'll probably happen in April.
Stay the course.
I love that we stayed, of course, we can do the job.
Okay, let's
And second, to accept item 9B, accepting the water supply and demand and drought response action plan. All in favor?
And the finding
And the finding.
that we already got community drought emergency.
And find that the need for the community development agency still exists.
That's even better.
Can I make one comment before we vote? I don't know if anybody read the article in the Aqua newsletter that the Sierra snowpack is the lowest in 500 years.
5%.
So that was just a comment, because I read it and went, oh, there's got to be a misprint, 500 years, and it's not.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I see.
Okay. President Duarte, board members, let's continue the drought actions. We probably saw the numbers when we had it before you. We have our conservation goal of 12%. We're in the neighborhood of 35% roughly. In June, staff recommended a stage 1 rate. Board directed us to reconsider this fall. October 4th, the board formally indicated in which to reconsider this matter. So that's what you have in front of you now. If we adjust the drought stage from 2 to 1, we're looking at the individual components of the rate changing between 10 and 20%. The impact on the district over the 4 months remaining about $200,000. Just as a ancillary note that we have CPI increases that will be scheduled to go in January 1, about 2.3%, and the zone is considering their own increases coming, which would also be January. There's no Prop 218 impact to this action, we've already noticed. You'll consider a separate board item for the low water user subsequent. If there's any questions about this, we've recommended the board, by resolution, activate Stage 1 water supply shortage rate and make it effective November 1. November 1 gives me some days to test it through. That's why it's not today.
And stage one better aligns us with our goal, which is 14%, 16%?
12.
12.
And stage 1 is 10%.
Yeah, this was pretty well vetted a couple meetings ago. I would like to move that by resolution, we activate stage 1 water supply, effective November 1st.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to activate stage 1 water supply shortage rates and be effective November 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. 9D.
So, President Morgan remembers, this is the follow-up item. This is, if you remember, the low water user credit. If we go down to stage 1, we'll eliminate the need for that. If you look at the differentials in the rate on the charts that's attached, about 60-cent differential to the user. So this would, the proposal would be to eliminate the low water user and then issue the final credits to the customer. So we could also change the rate and make it a lower amount. Right now it's $2 per written period and change the amount.
We've been running it for quite a while, and I would support it. I think at stage 1, the increment is so small between base and normal that this credit goes to dividends. So I recommend it. It's good. My motion is just
That's second.
Been moved and seconded to suspend or adjust the wise water user credit for fiscal year ending 2016.
clarification. The motion is just suspend.
Suspend. Yeah.
Good.
Get that, Carl? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. 9E, revise the enhanced rebate program. Dan?
President Martin, members of the board, this item is per the direction of the board at the October 6th meeting. And at that time, the board discussed the rebate program that the district has for different types of conservation activities. The board's direction was to modify the enhanced rebate program so that it would exclude the use of artificial turf for the lawn replacement rebate program. So tonight's proposed action would, by resolution, adopt a new enhanced rebate program, which is identical to the one we had before, with the exception that the lawn rebate program for residential and commercial users excludes the use of artificial turf for lawn replacement.
Dan, I would note that that aligns our program with the requirements of Zone 7, so it's up to the programs.
Discussion.
I'm not sure where I found this either, but after we talked about it last time, this is the report I was speaking of, the modeling the thermal effects of artificial turf on the urban environment. And it goes into great detail as to what's happening, more so in the ozone than anything else. But it was quite interesting to read, given that we've been led to believe that artificial turf is the answer to our problem. Obviously, it's not.
Dan, just a question, do you have a sense of how, what the sort of a easy version of the detrimental effects are of the artificial turf?
Well, there are a number of different things that have been identified. One is the fact that artificial turf will reflect a lot of heat back into the atmosphere, and that's, I think, the comment that we just heard about the ozone layer. There are also concerns about what it does to the soil underneath the artificial turf. It can turn the soil very sterile because it's essentially like putting a plastic blanket on top of the ground. So worms and other microbes cannot survive underneath that type of material. So there are some detriments to the use of artificial turf.
Well, I'd like to move that we eliminate the artificial turf as proposed in item 90.
Been moved and seconded to revise the enhanced rebate program for water efficient devices and to terminate eligibility for rebate on the artificial turf and rescind resolution number 30-15. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Item F.
Thank you, President Marching, members of the board. This item also comes from the direction of the board at the October 6th meeting. And at that time, the board was discussing some of the exemptions or requests for exemptions that customers have filed for various reasons. So the recommendation is that the board, by motion tonight, approve blanket exemptions for certain types of activities. Essentially, what this would allow is staff to evaluate an exemption from a customer, and if it fits the criteria that the board has approved, then the exemption would be granted. And those criteria would be the filling of new spas up to 5,000 gallons would be eligible for an exemption. Topping off existing pools and spas, regardless of whether the pool or the spa had a cover on it, as long as topping off was not necessary due to leakage of water. Another one is that we could grant an exemption for the use of potable water for certain specialized construction purposes. And we've had some requests for that type of use. And also this would allow us to grant an exemption for the use of potable water for pipeline testing, including recycled water pipeline testing. And I can give you an example that some of the new West Dublin recycled water pipe is actually being pressure tested using potable water because we have sections that don't yet have recycled water available to them.
We discussed this.
Yeah, we got it.
So one question I have is topping off, what's topping off? Is that, spa water goes bad periodically, is that draining and refilling spa, or is that?
The ordinance talks about draining and refilling is different. Topping off means your spa goes out that far.
You're bringing us to the
Splash out evaporation.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna get yourself, I think you may wanna broaden it. I mean, filling a new one makes sense, but people should be able to fill it. I mean, if you don't fill a new one, you should be able to fill it, makes sense. Otherwise, we're gonna have the same cast of characters.
I mean, for like repair,
Yeah.
they've had to repair.
Or sometimes,
You gotta change it up.
in the winter time, you gotta change the water.
Yeah, pools you don't have to, pools take pre-filling. Spas, realistically, it's a couple times a year. We're not changing the program, right? We're just giving you exemptions that pre-exist.
Right, this does not change the water use limitations ordinance itself. It's just its direction from the board to grant exemptions under these conditions.
If you wanted to make that change, I think the appropriate place, if you look at the summary recommendation, third line of the recommendation, where now reads filling the new spas with the volume not greater. I think you should say filling, and say filling of new spas or
We're just filling spas,
and refilling of existing spas.
We're just taking, we're like, filling spas, that's what my
Filling of
For filling or refilling.
I think that would make it easier. I mean, it's not gonna be water, and I think that. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Yeah. No, I have the blue sheet, but I don't have it.
I didn't have it either.
Oh, okay, all right, then I'll make a motion to accept this as presented with the one change of taking the words of and new out of the filling sentence, so it now reads filling reasonable size spas, 5,000 bottle.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to amend this motion, amend the recommendation by deleting the words of and do in the first bullet point. Kind of on the spot. Is that good enough, Ron?
The third line, we're going to the recommendation.
Okay, crap, I did it right there.
No, it's-
Oh, whatever, yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Last clarification, Director Helga, I think you used the word reasonable in your motion, which is the word used in the bullet.
Yeah, exactly. I was using the bullet. Should I?
Did you intend to refer to item A in the recommendation, filling spas with volume not greater than 5,000? What we were trying to do up there is define what is reasonable. You gave us direction to eliminate reasonable, and we kind of interpreted that.
So you went for a big swim spa, basically. Or part of the big swim spa.
Big.
The action is up in the recommendation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so if you strike the oven, you still get space.
We don't use the word reasonable.
Filling new spas with a volume, yeah, all right, I'm sorry. I was working from the bullet point,
Yeah.
same,
Strike the read.
we get the same place.
Just a little bit clearer to use the recommendation.
All right, Ken.
Use exclude too.
So it'll say filling in the spots.
Filling spa.
And do. In the recommendation, not the bullet points, in the recommendation.
Oh, all right, the bullet point was you read back to us what we said.
Exactly.
Yes,
The bullet
yes.
point, the direction we got from
In the
the board,
regs,
the
right,
recommendation is presented to
There's
the
a
chair.
chair, no comment. There is the clear as mud?
Just delete of and do.
Okay, all right.
Are we good, Carl?
Yes,
So
yes,
should
we
we
have our
just,
direction.
should we just skip 9G? I don't think we. Move it to another. Sorry, that's cruel.
All right, moving along. Item 9G, accept the long-term alternative water supply study. Dan.
Good evening, President Dworkin and board members. There are two companion items being considered tonight. One is the approval of the long-term alternative water supply study, and the other is the adoption of the new water supply, storage, conveyance, quality, and conservation policy. The long-term alternative water supply study was initiated in late 2014, and it was initiated in response to uncertainty about the reliability of the district's long-term water supply. Currently, around 2/3 of our water supply comes from the state water project. There is uncertainty in deliveries through the Delta and the state water project arising from environmental issues, regulatory and legal issues, and severe drought issues. There's a fundamental vulnerability, which is a lack of local control for this water supply. There were a number of purposes for the study. The first was to examine options for diversifying the district's water supply as a way of bolstering reliability. In essence, it allows us to develop an insurance policy of future uncertainty with the Delta and the state water project. Secondly, the study suggests a policy framework for the board. This policy framework would set direction on policy advocacy with our partners in the Tri-Valley and more broadly statewide. It would also guide the development of other policy documents such as the upcoming Urban Water Management Plan. Thirdly, the study conducts a fatal flaws analysis of a number of options at a very high level. The study concludes that there are options that warrant further feasibility study, including indirect potable reuse, whether by groundwater injection or reservoir storage of reverse osmosis water. It also looks at recommend study of desalination. The study recommends establishing partnerships with other agencies to share costs and realize economies of scale. The second item is a policy statement on water supply related issues. The policy statement is based on the conclusions of the long-term study and looks at what is plausible. The proposed board policy is a bold, visionary rethinking of water supply for the district and potentially for the Tri-Valley. The policy emphasizes diversification of the water supply as a way of boosting reliability. The policy recognizes that there are additional costs associated with diversification. Further study in partnership with other stakeholders is desirable. Some of the highlights of the 12 principles listed include increasing reliability even during the most severe droughts, controlling at least 60% of the water supply locally or regionally, and having no more than 40% of water supply come from any one physical source, such as the state water project. The study and policy have gone through a robust public stakeholder engagement process. There's been 8 months of public meetings and communications on the study and policy. There have been 8 weeks of a formal public comment period. The board has considered these matters on 4 occasions over the last 10 months. The proposals have been discussed in various public forums, and the other water stakeholders have been kept apprised of each step of the way. In response to that, we received a number of comments from stakeholders and some support letters from other entities. Personally, Zone 7 knows that some of the estimates may be updated. Staff agrees that the high-level analysis that's been conducted to date needs further refinement of the feasibility study. They note that the reliability comes at an economic cost, and staff recognizes and agrees that there are trade-offs. The idea isn't that economics trump reliability, but that the standard for reliability is paramount if it can be provided at an acceptable cost. Further feasibility analysis is a good comment. East Bay Leadership Council's Water Task Force Review Panel looked at this in a public forum and picked up one main thematic comment. The DSRSD is responsible for the reliability of its water supply and needs to take an active role in securing that. The City of Livermore sent some technical questions, particularly around the cost of recycled water. In addition to these 3 sets of stakeholder comments, there were 3 support letters, 2 of which are in your packet already. The letter of support from the City of Pleasanton and Assistant Public Works Director Leonard Oliver's in the audience may speak to that matter tonight. The City of Dublin sent a support letter, and today we received the Hacienda Owners Association in support of the policy. Staff response to stakeholder comments are that we appreciate the comments from the stakeholders, and of course we will use the comments to focus the next phase of the more refined study. Last week, staff forwarded the board agenda materials and the response to stakeholder comments to the Tri-Valley Water agencies. The response to stakeholder comments included in the agenda materials. The next steps include the following. A formal feasibility study could begin in early 2016. Ideally, this would be in partnership with other agencies and perhaps arising out of water policy roundtable consensus. Participation in and completion of a study is included and budgeted in the district's work program. Formal feasibility study could include a programmatic environmental review of various detailed alternative water supply options. And this feasibility study would serve as a foundation for the later final design work for one or more specific projects. A collaborative survey on Tri-Valley public opinion on alternative water supplies, such as indirect potable reuse, is about to begin and will serve as a reference point for further actions. Staff recommends approval of the study and adoption of the proposed policy. Staff is available to answer any questions.
Discuss this at length also.
Yes, we can.
Have anything else you want to add or ask?
There's a lot of good stuff. We've talked and talked.
You can encapsulate everything we've talked about over the last year.
It's nice to get the feedback that we're on the right track. That's validation.
Well, I was part of those discussions. I had an amazing tour of the treatment plant. Thank you, Dan. And Dan mentioned to me some of the things that, because I asked him a question that just sort of kicked him over to the alternative water supply. And I guess in my overview of it, we're kind of speaking on thin lines, leaving things as they are. Agreed. So that's just my 2 cents.
There'll be more to come.
So that's the first important step, and that's
I think we've recognized for a long time that having only one source as our primary put us in a precarious situation should anything happen. And this last year was a eye-opening.
Another thing I would add is yeah, it's all done really great. Great job on the report. Hopefully we were really easy to work with. just wanted to, I appreciate Glib's support, I appreciate all the comments. You did a good job addressing those. And I think I said this last time this was on the agenda, is, DSRC has a history of being perhaps a bit impatient sometimes and trying to lead from the front. And in this case, we're kind of running ahead and realize that. At least this board member totally gets that we can't do this alone. I don't think there's anything in this portfolio that we can pull off ourselves. So we fully plan to work with anybody who'll work with us. Zone, Pleasanton, we're doing fantastic stuff together right now. We're always working together. So there's no intent, at least for me, to have this perceived as something that DSRC is going to go off and rush out and do their own thing. It's a good foundational document. We wanted to kind of front the process by funding ourselves and getting out there and getting something we all talk about. We have to come together. This can't be done by a retail agency of our footprint. So, get back to your people, your board people, your city councils. This is going to be collaborative.
And the support that you indicated is great. Great.
So who gets the bid? No, you do it.
Okay.
Gene, do it.
I'll move that we, let's see, accept the long-term alternative water supply study and adopt a new water supply storage conveyance quality and conservation policy and rescind resolution 5706. It's not really that old, is it? Oh, you're kidding. Oh my God, you realize that 57 means 57 means 1957.
Otherwise, numbers 57 is the resolution, 57 resolution passed in 2000.
Oh, okay.
But it's still pretty old.
It's still pretty old.
It's not much of a policy.
We need two separate resolutions for you, Art.
Two separate
That's your
motions.
resolution.
You could do one motion or two,
One motion,
whatever your
two
preference is. If you wanted to divide it
I'll
up.
put it in one motion.
Yeah, she did.
You did one motion, I'm going to second it.
You're right.
It's been, I second this, her dual combo motion.
And moved and seconded to accept to accept the long-term alternative water supply study, adopt a new water supply storage conveyance quality and conservation policy, and to rescind resolution number 57-06. All in favor?
Aye.
So, carries unanimously. Thank you, Peter. H. Another one.
Is a presentation on the purchase of the field operations division corporation and principal engineer Dee Zavio, who's been the leader on this every step of the way, is going to give some of the highlights on this proposed contract.
President Gordon, members of the board. The item before you is a major step towards the strategic plan goal of securing or constructing a permanent home for our field operations division. Our field operations division is the staff that maintains or operates our water distribution system and our connection system. Maintains it. Field operations staff has been in temporary trailers and cargo containers for nearly 18 years on the Camp Park, on the parcel on the Camp Park site. Camp Park is slowly moving over that property over to development. And in doing so, we will lose our lease. So back in April, the board directed, the staff provided the board a number of options for field operations, and the board directed staff to enter into negotiations with Johnson Drive Holdings 1 LLC for the purchase of 7035 Commerce Circle in Pleasanton. The item before you is a purchase and sale agreement with Johnson Drive Holdings. The purchase price is $4.9 million. which is within the authorized amount provided in April, and it was also verified through the planning appraisal. The site is a great opportunity for the district. The combination of the office and warehouse space fits well with our field operation division's needs. The location of the property allows the district to maximize on an existing asset. The property is adjacent to the Logman property, so the intent is that we can use this property and the Logman property next door for some of our outdoor storage. And also, the property has organizational advantages in that all of our operations and maintenance staff will be less than a mile from each other because the wastewater treatment plant is on one side of 75 and this is not far away on the other side. The site does have hazardous materials on it, which we mentioned back in April. There's freon in the soil vapor and in groundwater under the building, and there has been PCE and TCE detected on the property line with our Logman property, and that's been detected in the soil vapor and the groundwater. The owner is currently working voluntarily with the Regional Water Quality Control Board to remediate the site, and is currently constructing a remediation system. So, with that type of complexity on the site, the purchase and sale agreement has a number of environmental contingencies. The first of these is that the owner retains the responsibility to clean up the site, that they indemnify the district, that the owner adds DSRSD onto their as an additional insured on their environmental insurance policy, which they're using right now to remediate the site, and that policy goes to year 2023. The owner is to operate the remediation system until they get a no further action letter from the Regional Water Quality Control Board. And then also the whole purchase is contingent on us doing air testing after they've completed the remediation system to ensure it meets all federal and state standards. And the owner will be paying for that air testing as well. I'm going to go through this slideshow here to give you a little bit more information on the property we're purchasing. So this is an aerial of the site. So you can see Commerce Circle is blue and is not dragging across the site there. Okay, so here's Commerce Circle. The property is this entire lot here. Parking. All of this, this is some temporary storage and some electrical equipment is now gone. And this is the Logman property right here at the pump station right down in the bottom. So as I say, we can remove the fence along here and we can use some of this space in here, another space at Logman for the field operations staff for things like trench spoils or trench materials. Next, let me show you a picture that's sort of taken right here from the street so you can see the front of the building. That's the building from Commerce Circle. This is a shot from the southwest corner of the property that's looking at the parking lot. This is the floor plan, the first floor plan of the building. You can see us quite a bit of office space and lots of good warehouse space, a little workshop within the warehouse. It has typical office things. It's got some bathrooms, some showers, break rooms, conference rooms. And then this is the second floor, more office area. This is actually, this wall is no longer here, so this is all in the building space. You'll see that picture later. And the second floor also has a mezzanine that overlooks the warehouse space. So this is a shot of the first floor office space. This shot was taken a long time ago. So this is the typical bathroom. This is the break room. This is that second floor area. I'm calling this the bonus room because this is a quite it's a large room. It's about 85 feet by 50 feet. I think this will benefit the district in that we currently don't have a large meeting area. We have an off-staff meeting for us all to gather. We usually go to the plant. It's a little tight. Not only that, but parking is pretty concerned. So the rest of us are kind of looking at it. So let's go ahead. This is the warehouse, and there's the mezzanine area that I talked about earlier. This is part of the warehouse, and there's a large overhead crane, and there's a large roll-up door here, so things can come in. Use the crane, move heavy items. Another shop for mezzanine, and this is the workshop that's in the warehouse. Schedule for this purchases if the board authorizes the GM to sign the document this evening. We can sign it as soon as tomorrow, so upon signing of the document by both parties, that starts the due diligence period. Sort of two due diligence periods. There's 45 days where we'll do the standard due diligence, where we'll check if the roof is good, the HVAC system, that type of stuff. But then the remediation, there's an environmental due diligence period, and the remediation system is due complete on November 15th. And upon the completion of that system, we have 30 days to test the air and determine whether it meets our standards. If there's some issue in the testing or lab results, we can retest. We have another 30-day period. And if we're really determined to build the clerk, the contract allows for that. I certainly don't anticipate doing this 3 times. But after if we complete on November 15th, we have our 30 days, and then if everything's fine within that 30 days, we have a 15-day close. That 15-day close, the owner has the option to extend it by 30 days twice because they're sort of swapping properties. But we can do it in that time period if they pay their taxes. So I recommend to the board that they authorize the GM to sign all the documents required to close the sale and to allow continued remediation by the owner on the scene. Do you have any questions?
Got a pretty good package there for the amount of concessions you got on the bullet points.
And it looked pretty clean. You can occupy without a whole lot of renovating.
It's kind of really great.
It will speak
Lots of shells.
through time. You get the benefit of dealing with a property tax for Pleasanton.
Yes.
Just trying to keep it in the neighborhood, you know.
Getting that owner to get all that remediation is good negotiating.
Now, the last thing, so the owner's got a 1031 exchange, we're trying to hold on to this. There's no escaping it. If your 1031 exchange goes south, they can't get out there.
No, they only get is going to close 2 times 30 days.
$179 a foot, that's a good price for us.
Where are you getting the map that you showed us?
First one.
Aerial view?
No, the map.
My appraisal. If you're appraisal.
I've never heard that called the South San Ramon Creek in my entire life. It's always been on the road. They lost something.
I've seen that before too. This house, if you see it on this side, they call it the South San Ramon. When you go along the Irish Trail, it's called the South San Ramon. So at some point, it changes its name, perhaps after a year or later.
That's interesting.
We need to approve our resolution.
I'll move that we approve our resolution to authorize the property purchase as stated in correct.
Second. Been moved and seconded to authorize the property purchase for Johnson Drive. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. And we are now to 9J. Move to revise the committee assignments for review of This was a old chart that we came up with for the committee assignments based on our new format, organization for it. the three committees, and you have that in your packet. So,
Sure, it's just a small, it's just a small. We're gonna make Madam Chair Lawton our first meeting.
Oh, come on, 2 weeks in, I was not coming up, right?
I had Chair Durham my first meeting years ago. I move we approve the item.
Second.
then moved and seconded to approve the revised the board committee assignments for the remainder of the calendar year 2015. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
President Markey, I would note in response to Rich's question, perhaps it's not exactly a straight swath.
I saw that. It was pointed out.
Okay, board member items, reports, and travel and training. Rich?
I don't have a report. If I'm reading the calendar correctly, this is Bert's last board meeting, this being a special meeting between now and November. So I'll start the very, what's sure to be a very, very long train of work there well. It's been great working with you. And I'll keep it short. You know, this means to congratulate my last meeting. I don't know if you counted how many you've been to. It's around the place.
Well, we're gonna have a barbecue, we can say all. But yeah, it's been an extreme pleasure.
It's been my pleasure working with all of you, your successors.
I'll echo the same comment as the newest person, well, formerly.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I just, that's easy.
Bert, I think, took a personal interest in making sure I was brought up to speed as quickly as possible. Greatly appreciated. Being retired myself, and I can hear not going to be retired. Be a busy man. But best wishes to whatever you decide.
And I'll echo that. I'm still deciding if I like it or not.
You're not happy.
No, I'm not. Hopefully we'll find someone that's 1/10 as effective as Bert has been. It's been a pleasure working with you, and it's a moment of pride every time someone talks about you as and the quality of work that you've given us. So good luck. Please don't be a stranger. You know, you could come to the meetings and heckle us.
We need a DA.
Okay, I have several things. I'm sorry. I was busy again. I'm looking down at Reg. I attended the ACSDA board meeting last week down at EBDA. They've been meeting for some reason. I haven't had the time to pay attention to it, but we talked about specifically the speaker at our next meeting in January. I shouldn't say that because our next meeting is November. And we're going to have vector control do a report. But in January, I suggested trying to find someone from MTC and ABAG because they're always on they're almost as nasty as developers are on our list. And that there's even been an editorial recently about the fact that MTC and ABAG people need to be elected. So, I mean, I'm really glad Stacy called right away and someone was excited to speak. Little does he know what he's in for. So that's going to be the program in January, and we will be meeting at AC Transit in Oakland. We're having a little problem right now legislatively. I shouldn't say a problem, but the DEA and the FDA has put out a recommendation, which some of you may have seen, that the best way to get rid of medication is to flush it. And so we're trying to get people, yes, exactly. We're trying to get the Special Interest Association together to speak to someone like Eric or whomever. And, you know, these are federal agencies, and you know how difficult it is to change the opinion of a federal agency. But it was kind of surprising that they would even suggest that given the problems. in all the waterways all over the United States, but anyway. And we also talked about how can we help in other counties. I think you might remember that when I went to the LAFCO conference, I found out that there were only 30 of the 54 counties that have special districts as members because the counties have refused. And what we first need is legislation that requires them to do it, not allows them to do it. So that was that meeting. And then on Monday, I had a conference call board meeting with CASA, and we went over they're in the process of changing their brand, just like we did the colors and the actual logo. So we went through the same process we did here. We also got a final report on the very first audit that CASA has had after they switched from cash to accrual. And fortunately, the books are in excellent shape and there wasn't a big issue. In fact, they gave us, with the exception of the cash to accrual, they gave us a clean management letter. So everybody was very pleased about that. And it shows the level of people that are working in the CASA office in Sacramento. And then the last thing we talked about, and I was surprised because the conference call worked very well. I was a little concerned about the electronics and people cutting out and I wouldn't hear them call and everything, but it worked pretty well. But the last thing we discussed was staff has put all of our notes together from the strategic plan into a first draft document from CASA's strategic plan, so I'm anxious to see that. And then, of course, we're reminded that the meeting in January is our spring, winter, fall conference, whatever it is. Okay, and then this morning I went to Frank Millen's East Bay Mud discussion. He's in charge of Ward 7. They're in the process of gearing up. They think that they have 1,700 on staff, which is what it got down to after the recession, depression, whatever we had. And they want to ramp it back up to 2,000 because they're going through all of their pipes and replacing them. Everything's, I shouldn't say everything, most everything is cast iron, and cast iron breaks in an earthquake. Plastic and things like that are a little bit more movable. They've gotten some type of pipe. It's not plastic. They didn't quite understand what he said. From Japan, that made me worry. And they're doing 2 demonstration projects in Kensington and Danville. They're replacing all the water mains with these new pipes. They also are going to go in and re-mortar line all the aqueducts. They think most of their aqueducts are in a lot of trouble. They're very worried about the amount of rain we're going to have this winter in terms of what it will do to the infrastructure. Interesting thing that I have not heard before, they're working with San Joaquin County in order to use the water basin under them for a place to store water. And it was kind of interesting because I thought it would have been easy for us to have done that, or Zone 7, it's like right next door. So I'd like to talk to Frank and find out a little bit more about that. They're also a little upset, as I expected they would be, with SB 88, where the regional water, the state water quality control board has the ability now to merge small water districts that are in trouble. They felt, as I did, have nothing whatsoever to do with whether or not the district should be dissolved or merged, but the fact that now the Water Resources Control Board has stepped into another area where they have some control, and it's our area, they shouldn't be doing this, LAFCO should be doing it, it's already there. Anyway, they're concerned about that. They're working on some, what everybody calls trailer bills, to try and change that. And then the last thing.
One comment is that Stan's been a leader in this kind of process.
Have they? Okay. Well, I always think about the wall work in China.
Yeah, never mind, that's China.
And then the last thing, and maybe Bert can talk a little bit more, we have the Region 5 update with Tim Quinn. And it's supposed to be all the water agencies in Alameda County, and not all the water agencies were there. But unfortunately, I got my calendar wrong and was a little late, so I didn't get in on the whole thing. So if there's anything you can remember that's critically important for us to know about. You were talking about Prop 218.
Okay, so before that, we had a good discussion about Prop 218, how that interfaces with the dozen cases, basically catastrophic decision with the code under the Conservation Council. There's a couple of ideas out there, not to change anything in Prop 218, because that would be sort of disadvantage, but rather to address the issue via ballot initiative, looking at section Article 10 of the state constitution, which is for all the water matters. It's just sort of carve out a special definition of water that would be subject to Prop 218, that may address flood control issues, income issues, and some conservation issues. Kind of a unique idea, I thought, and we're going to be pursuing both a citizens initiative as well as a legislative initiative under the decision of the institute, which would go into the entities.
And what was the last initiative they talked about? They had 8 versions of it?
Oh, there's been a little water bond. The original water bond was proposed at $11.some billion. That didn't hold very well. So before it got to the polls, it was scaled down to $7.some billion. There's recently been 8 citizens initiatives, all authored by Jerry Merrill. Jerry is a long-time water person, state government, actually with the Brown administration, the previous Brown administration, this Brown administration, for $4 billion initiative. They're all slightly different. The thought is that they'll pick one of them that holds the best and try to go forward with it. Sometimes in 2016, I found interesting is the $7 billion bond measure that was passed, plus the $4 billion that's being proposed, with the $11 billion that wasn't proposed. Proposing that a lot of the bond, a lot of the things that Lisa explained to me with these new bond measures are related to the things like watershed protection and things that were felt to be important in the previous bond measure that were cut out. And it's groups like the environmental funds fund
I understand they're going to sort of float them all and see where the support is, and that will be the wording of the initiative.
And that'll be the one. And then before that, we talked about water transfers and some of the difficulties in implementing water transfers around the state. And there was a real good discussion because APA has a water transfer working group that's looking at that matter for our course and the national water agency is involved in that. So we very much encourage our staff to do that.
The only other issue is that we were reminded that their major convention is coming up in December. If anybody wanted to know, they've encouraged us to attend because we have stepped out so much in front before.
I think we do have a meeting that we connected to the board.
Everybody in District Council, some guys are like extremely ready and other rules with
For my report, I'll be sending I won't have time to, I'll start over. Bert and I attended yesterday's Contra Costa County Special District Association meeting hosted by Central Sanitation District in Martinez. The main presentation was from Bart, Gail Murray. Gail Murray, Director for Bay Area Rapid Transit, gave a PowerPoint presentation, which I'm going to distribute to everybody. I think you'll find it interesting. They're getting ready to embark on a $9.8 billion improvement program for capital for infrastructure and new cars. One of their items that they're going to purchase is overall 1,000 new cars. That's their goal. They've already received or procured 4.8 billion of that 9.6. Very interesting. So that's federal funds, previous bonds. But so there's a possibility that there's going to be a bond measure out there for all of us to be subject to. But I'll include that PowerPoint in my written report since we had to meet yesterday. I didn't have the time to write it up. And I will not be here next week, so I won't be attending the luncheon.
I'll find an opportunity for you to touch base.
Very good. That ends the regular sessions at this time. At this time, the board will be going into closed session for 3 session items.
We can actually, we can skip D, because that pertains to the same item.
Oh, D already did
So
too.
just B and C.
Conference with legal counsel and suspended litigation. Significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D, Government Code section 54956.9. And C, public employee performance evaluation pursuant to Government Code section 54957, titled District General Counsel. This board meeting will continue. That's where we stop at this time. Anticipated there will be no report in closed session.
It's been a pleasure. It was good to see you.
Don't tell her maintenance. They've been asking for a place for another. They can't afford it.
See ya.
Yeah.